This episode of the I Don't Care What You Think podcast is brought to you in part by Experience the Brands. It is the website for Experience 12 event space and for Prophetic Repel, the clothing line. You go to that one website and you get any and everything you need as far as merchandise and to book and plan your special day and the event space. Experience the Brands. Thank you very much.
It's good with it. It's your boy Samaj Savage, and you are now listening to the I Don't Care What You Think podcast.
Yo, welcome to the I Don't Care What You Think podcast. Today we got a special guest, Mr. Samaj Savage.
It's good with it. How y'all doing today out there if you're watching, you know?
Nah, man, I appreciate you coming by. You was actually requested in multiple ways. Like my brother sent me your Instagram. Like I told you, my co-host who not here right now, he sent me your Instagram. Like a bunch of people were sending me your Instagram. And they know how much I appreciate New Jersey, hip hop as a whole. Cause then with my brother, his name New Era, he does music. And then I'm real close to videographer Ja. She shoots videos and stuff like that. And I was just like, yo, they sent me yours. I checked it out. And it's funny because my co-host did the Jonah Lucas challenge. That's how he seen your other people that you be working with.
Yeah,
so,
Lex Bratcher and 100 Koofies in them. Yeah.
So when he lost, he was like, yo. We actually got a whole episode where he was like talking to like Jonah Lucas. He was like, yo, you feel me? I didn't even know we had that many rappers. And he's bringing up Lex Baxter and everybody. And he was like, yeah, but shout out to them. They was fire. They was hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I went to your page and I was just like, I'm scrolling. I'm like, yo, he fire. And you're the kind of rapper I appreciate.
I appreciate that.
I gotta say it like that because I'm cool with melodic music. I'm cool with melodic rap. But my favorite rapper of all time is Nas. And then I appreciate, like, I'm a big Eminem fan. So I appreciate the over lyricist on top of just the lyricist. So when I hear you, it's like, oh, he going. Like, he go. Like even when I went to your Spotify and I clicked Lucky You, I ain't expected to be that Lucky You. So when I clicked it, I was just like, oh, he rapping on that one. And I'm
There's a funny ass story about that, bro. Like I almost didn't even do that record. And it's one of my highest streaming things. There was this metal band. They do like a lot of cover rap songs and pick rappers to, you know, fill in the gaps and whatnot. And they reached out to me. And at the time I was only charging $200 for a feature. And they couldn't do that. It was like, I'm sorry, but like we can guarantee you like it's going to be huge. Just please take a chance on us. And I was like, all right. And I took that chance, and I still get money from the streams of that. And people, you know, who reach out to me like, yo, I just heard this and da da da. And it's funny because it's like I tried to rap like M on that one. Yeah. But it's like that's not even how I rap all the time. So I feel like there's an assumption that like people are going to get more of that when it comes to my music, and I hope I never disappoint. But at the same time, I gotta, you know, put who I actually am out there.
I get what you're saying. Question: what got you into music? And I don't mean just hip hop, because I overheard a little of your conversation and how you broke down the Stevie Wonder with the. So what got you just in the? Because that's more than just rapping. To understand that these are not the drums I'm looking for. These are not the chords I'm looking for. I'm trying to make you feel good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What do you get?
Well, as far as like the technical stuff, that's all learned. That's all me doing my history and whatnot. There's a lot of great music that I grew up on, a lot of soul that's within me because of like, you know, Jersey house music and whatnot, you know, cookouts and all of those experiences. But after like hearing all of those things, I was just like, oh snap, like there's a science to this. And then I like went back and did my research and then came to the conclusion, in my opinion, Stevie Wonder is the greatest artist of all time. But I like studied so many different artists. And I respect and love Stevie because he's the kind of person where he gives credit to who he's inspired by. And all of the people that I looked up to give so much credit to the people that they're inspired by, and it allowed me to do more and more research. Like without Stevie Wonder, I wouldn't know who Duke Ellington is. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like how I was introduced to music, there was always so much music playing around me, but I always reacted to it different from other children. Like my mom said when I was 2 years old, I was walking in the house screaming, "Where my dogs at?" Like stuff like that. She said there was a CD that she had, a Tupac CD. I think it was the Illuminati one. And he was like, they were playing a song on the radio, and I realized that it was a radio edit, and I was like, she said she don't even think I was like one yet. And I was like, there's something missing in this song. I couldn't tell exactly that it was the curses, but I'm like, yo, there's words missing in this song. I can tell a clean version from a dirty version back then.
As a kid, that's what's
word. And since my auntie Halima bought my brother Aziz this program called FL Studios, at the time I think it was like FL Studios 5, or like it was like early in the game. They on FL technically 13 right now. And I went over the house, just saw the program, started messing around with it, and then every single time that I went over there, there's no way, like, I'm not outside, I'm not playing video games, I'm not really doing anything, but just focusing on this one thing, trying to figure it out and crack the code to it. And I wasn't even thinking, like, I'm going to be a big producer, but I just had a sick obsession with it, you know?
So you produced too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't even, like, see, my whole thing was, I ain't even scratched the surface, because I look at it like, I get the bass, and you will provide the, like how you just said you was a So what came first, the rapping or the producing?
By the way, I prefer it this way. It's a lot more organic, and we can have a conversation, and you can get to know me and stuff. Yeah, but I started producing first. That whole scenario that I just described happened when I was like 8 years old, and I just did not put it down since. And then I started writing when I was 10, or I wrote my first rap when I was 10. But it was more so to see if I could do that, you know, on some like I like rap and whatnot. I feel like no matter who you are, everybody has one verse that they wrote.
Yeah.
Everybody. You don't have to be a rapper, but everybody's tried it at least once. And but it took about like 4 more years between then and I recorded my first rap. And then I just like still played around with it and whatnot. I really wanted to be a producer, but my beats were so trash that I was like, nobody gonna rap on these beats but me. So then I got to like I was like 17. That's when I dropped my first mixtape, and I was pushing it around the school and whatnot. Everybody was hating, and it was all good. But once people had criticisms about me and things to say about me, I think that's what motivated me to stick with it. And once I realized there's only but so much you could rap about haters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, well, what are the key moments in my life that inspired me to make music? One, I was listening to this Eminem track, Sing for the Moment, and he was talking about how...
that song.
Yeah, he said, we rap for these kids who don't have a thing except something in a fucking rap magazine. Am I good to curse?
Yeah, you could.
All right, cool. And I felt like that kid that he was rapping about was me at that time. And I just like broke down into tears because it felt like for the first time in my life, somebody understands me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not alone in this world. So every time that I make a record one way or another, I try to transfer that feeling, like say something that I not to relate to people, but something that's within myself that I know there may be somebody out there who relates to it too, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate that music touches you in a way where you hear it and it touches you, because I tell people like when I say I'm a Nas fan, like fanatic, I think he's the greatest rapper ever. And the reason why I think he's the greatest rapper ever, whenever you can paint a picture that I can relate to without being in your shoes, like I'm not an Eminem fan. I mean, not an Eminem fan. I'm not like from where Eminem from, but I can vividly see what he went through with his moms, his wife. Like I can see it and I get a feel for it.
He paints a picture.
The ones who think they're doing that and they're not really doing that, those are the ones that be like, yeah, it's cool, but
they don't get it. They don't get it.
So when I I got a boy that love, like he's a Lil Durk fanatic. He loves him and he loves Rod Wave. And I'm not a fan of neither like that. Like,
really?
Like Dirk's growing on me because everybody plays him. So he's growing. Rod Wave don't grow on me, but it's the perception somebody put on me. So it's like somebody come to you and tell you, oh, this singer, he remind me of Stevie Wonder, and he don't when you play it. It's a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
So Rod Wave has a bad taste in my ear because everybody was telling me I'm about to listen to something I never heard before, and I'm like, this is just melodic music.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for Rod Wave specifically, like for me, the reason I really liked Rod Wave is because I felt like the pain of what he was going through.
That's how I felt about Moray.
Moray is that too.
I feel like he's a blues.
Yeah.
He merges blues and hip hop.
Yeah. Yo, Quicksand is one of the illest rap records to come out in the past 10 years. Because it's just like that descriptiveness that you were talking about before, where it's like he says something and you see it happening.
Yeah, like you literally like, damn, I get it.
Yeah. So, and I ain't never, well, no. I barely ever sold a drug in my life. And I'm listening to Quicksand and I'm like really imagining him like hustling and like learning and stuff. Like I'm seeing the movie and I'm just like, damn, I want this dude to win.
Cause and I said that because when I bring up that I don't like Dirk and them, they always go, it's cause you're not feeling that. You're not feeling the pain. Like even my co-host does music. He does the melodic and he does the rap. I don't like the melodic style.
There's so many different versions of Lil Durk that I think it's hard to say that you don't like him. If you've heard every single thing from him and you're just like, nah, you know, it may not be for you, but like,
I look at it like I love Drill Durk.
Drill Durk was crazy.
I love Drill Durk. Like anytime he doing the drill, I'm good.
So the way I was a fan of Durk when like everything was in like the heat of the moment, you know, Chief Keef was going all the drill scene, G Herbo, Lil Bibby, was all smoking everything. Then I heard Durk and I'm like, yo, this shit is hard. But I didn't really stick with it. It was just kind of like merged all in that scene.
With all of them, I guess.
So then years later, somebody's like, yo, you heard this like new Lil Durk? This is like maybe about like 5-7 years ago. And I'm like listening to it and I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, why he singing so much? And you know, I was one of those. And then I was like, my brother was like, yo, I'm going to this Lil Durk concert and I'm like, is G Herbo coming out? Like,
I like Herbo too. I like her.
So then we go from that to like where he's at now, and now I get it. I'm like, he had to learn how to really finesse the melodic stuff to be able to be digestible to like everyone when it comes to that.
But my thing is the part when people be like, oh man, I like it because I mean you can feel that pain. That's the example of what I gave with Eminem and Nas.
Yeah,
I don't feel the pain at all with Durk and them. I just take it as good music.
Really,
I don't feel like the heart, because I feel like when you do.
I don't either, because I'm not really from the kind of environment that Durk is from and the kind of trauma that he's from. That's just not me. But at the same time, it's the simple things like I love what happened to Virgil. Because I looked at Virgil as an icon of whatnot. He may not talk about Virgil the entire song, but the way he said, "Oh my God, what happened to Virgil?" I'm just like, dang, like it always like make like a little tear flutter in my eye and shit. Because I'm just like, what happened though? Like,
nah, I get you that. I get you that.
It depends on exactly what he's saying. Not every song is for me, but Durk is he's undeniably talented.
I give you that, but that was the difference I was trying to make with between I cannot be a fan of somebody and they can have something that hit me. Like some of my boys don't understand why I like Kevin Gates. I'm like, I feel that. Like my brother always say, listen to that country shit. I'll be like, yo, I don't know what it is, but it's like when he talk, it's like when he.
But Kevin Gates is like Rod Wave for me.
But I understand,
like it's kind of the similar lane.
What put a bad taste in my mouth for Rod Wave was the fact that they were painting him as a singer to me, and then so I was expecting.
Is he not though?
What I get from Moray is what I thought he was gonna give me. Like Moray give me that Muddy Waters, that rough wreck.
But all right, so
he give me more of a.
I feel like Moray is blues while Rod Wave is soul.
And I looked at it as Rod Wave was blues because of the way they were saying. Like, before I ever listened to Rod Wave, he was already gone by the time I finally tried him. And I was just like, yeah, I called my man.
What song, like, how were you introduced? Because it was Hard on Ice.
It was right after the joint with him and Kevin Gates. I like that song.
That song's crazy.
I like that song. Right after whatever tape that is.
Yeah, that was Cuban Links, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna die in these Cuban Links.
Yeah, whatever that whole tape is, I was just like, yeah.
Bro, I never had a Cuban link in my life I've never had a crazy like real like flooded chain or anything like that. But the way that he screamed, I'm gonna die in these Cuban links, like had me thinking like, bro, it's worth it. Die for it. I feel you.
That's how I felt. Kevin Gates had a song called I ain't take my chain off in weeks because if they see it, they gonna kill me anyway. And I'm like, damn, because it's like whether I got it on for a sentimental value, when they see it, they gonna take it. So I might as well just leave it on.
Yeah,
I just go. So I get it.
Yeah.
So everything we do in life starts as a play. Like I'm gonna try it out, see if I like it. If I don't like it, throw it away. When did you know? Yo, I'm gonna stick with the music instead of just going, I'm gonna try it out. That's all right, but ain't nobody listening to my shit. But what was the turning point when you was like, oh, I'm not giving up. I don't care how hard the road is.
I've always had I'm not giving up. Like the more people that doubted, the better it was. In fact, I guess the thing that makes music a little bit harder is because nobody's doubting anymore. So it's just like I ain't gotta feel like I gotta overcome anything anymore. I can just literally just make music. So I'm in a different position now. But I had met Joe Budden, and he heard a lot of my music at the time and said like, yo, this is all good, but like where's the pain? Like what can people relate to? You know what I'm saying? Like what makes you? And then I dropped this project called The Gray Area. And that's what I like to consider the real start of my career, because that's when I had people calling me and telling me, or, you know, texting me and DMing me like, bro, like this song changed my life. This song helped me get through this, And that's when I was like, all right, now I have a responsibility. Like I have a purpose in this. I'm not just making music because I just want to. I mean, I was never making music just because I want to get rich. I was making music because I love making music. But now it's like it's bigger than me, and I feel like I gotta continue because I may be able to help somebody or stop another person from harming themselves. You know?
Yeah, the whole breakdown of the what makes your music you. Now, since that was said to you, you understand my dislike for Lil Durk and them.
Nah,
I'm about to tell you why. It don't stand out.
All right, so
like how you said,
I get what you're saying. It doesn't,
but that's how I feel. I know other people feel other ways.
I totally get what you're saying.
I feel like it don't stand out.
But here's my take on it. It stands out for one reason. And I think you don't think it stands out for another reason.
Okay.
I think you don't think it stands out because everybody's making that kind of music right now. But who is the best at making that kind of music? You get what I'm saying?
That's true. But
there was a lot of people doing snap music, but nobody stood out like Soulja Boy.
That is true.
A lot of people doing bling bling baller music, but nobody stuck out like Jay-Z.
But when he say to you, all of the music, like when Joe Budden told you, like, yo, it's not bad music. It's just what makes you unique.
But it wasn't musically, because my music was unique sound-wise. He was asking what makes me unique, like who am I? He felt like he didn't know who I was through listening to my music. I feel like I learned who Lil Durk is through his music.
But this how I felt. But the same way you learned who Lil Durk was through his music, there's a lot of people who we've learned that makes the melodic music. Like I've learned. Let me see somebody else I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big Meek Mill fan.
You're not a big Meek fan? All right, I feel like this conversation isn't really, it's not gonna go anywhere. If you're not rocking with Meek, then I can totally understand why you don't rock with Durk.
But I think Meek is fire.
Can we turn that off? Because I'm like chilly as hell in here.
I got you.
I was a Meek fan ever since I heard I'm a Boss.
Oh no, but I understand his music. Like he's the one. I'm not a fan, but I listen, like, because I love music. So if you go, yo, you need to listen to set, I'm gonna go listen. Like, and I'm gonna listen to it with open ear. Like, I'll tell my boy, like, yo, this album had 15 tracks. Y'all like 10 of them. He could have threw them other 5 away. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, yo, this like I might not be a Durk fan. His last album was really good. He just doesn't stick with me. So it's like all right, on my birthday is when they played me Durk album. My birthday in March. They played it for me all the way to where we was going. We got out the car. I said, God damn, that Durk was hard.
Yeah.
I ain't never listened to it alone though.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. But
that sounded like a whole nother sentence. I'm listening.
but I ain't never listened to that shit again.
Wow. But so your issue is it's not sticking to your rib. It's not sticking with you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But here's what I can say. I don't think any artist in the industry is making music that's sticking with people anymore.
I agree. I thought that myself.
No artist,
myself.
Even my favorite artists are making albums that I'm listening to, and I'm like, this is amazing. And I stop listening after like 2-3 days.
We got the same mind when it comes to that, because I thought I was the only one who felt that way.
So I'm holding everybody to the industry standard. If in this time, if you can't make a music that can really stick to somebody, and it's been years since we've had projects like that, then I gotta give Dirk credit for doing this. You know what I'm saying?
He still
made a nice album.
If you put it in that way, I take back what I said about him.
Nice.
Because his shit definitely does stick with his fans. Oh, my God. The motherfuckers. That shit stick with them, yo.
Yeah.
That shit stick with them. So, all right.
A question you got to ask yourself, too. Last thing I'm going to say about who is this person making music for? I don't think Dirk makes music for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's meant for me.
I see what you're saying.
So I don't think, like, even if I do like Dirk's music, but even if I sat here and said I didn't like Dirk's music, his response would be, well, like, it's literally not meant for you.
But see, it's weird, though, because I like Baby Keem, and I don't think he make music for me neither. Like, his music, literally, I still bump his album today. Like, I don't know what it is. It just stick. Like, it's probably because it's rapping rap. Like,
he
that
you know, it's funny
me.
though. I saw this video. My man, shout out to One Track Mind. He did a video. He said, if you like conscious rappers like Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem, then you might like this artist. And I was just like, I don't know if Baby Keem is a conscious rapper, but he got lyrics that like stick, right? And he like speaks to the people and whatnot. But at the same time, I'm like, maybe it's the sound. Like, and it made me think, like, what separates a conscious artist from I guess a conscious. What separates a conscious artist from like a popular artist now?
All right, if you ask me, I'll look at it like this. This is how I look at Baby Keem. Me and my boy have arguments about this all the time. There's a difference in between conscious artists, lyrical artists, and I make it a gray area. I call it the concept artist. Like, you're not the best rapper. You don't make the best music, but when you put your concept in the motion, it's something great. So like,
I think a lot of that has to do with your team, though.
So like they go Baby Keem. If you like them, you'll like Baby Keem because he's not. But the verse he gave Kanye West on Donda,
that was one of the best verses on Donda.
The verse he gave Kendrick for his album, and then you put on his album, it's 1 or 2 songs that's that same level. It's like, oh, you're concept driven. Like, I can walk in here like, yo, we gonna talk about this today, and you gonna go, oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you, like, your music is based off topic. So, like you said, it's based off your team. So if he's in a room full of people and they go, yo, you should rap about how people mistreat the world, he could give it to you. But if you just ask him to rap, he just gonna rap. I just got on Baby Keem with this album.
But nah, like, I was late, as in, like, I heard all of his music as it was coming out and whatnot, but I wasn't feeling it because I didn't get it yet. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of things like that I'm just like, bro, I should have understood, but at the time I wasn't really understanding it. I mean, yeah. But his last album was really,
but that's
really
the
dope.
best. That's the best thing about music, because it helps you come back full circle. Like, I can name a bunch of artists like Mac Miller. I didn't come around to Mac Miller until Good AM.
Really?
Like, I heard everything.
Good AM to me is his best project, though.
Watching TVs with that is to me too.
Yeah.
Watching movies with the sound off.
Yeah.
I clicked it because I know Loaded Lux is at the end of the tape.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I've heard everything.
Yeah.
But when that came, it was just like, what the fuck? And I just went back.
For me, it was Faces. When I heard Faces, I was like, oh nah, like, this is different. And I think it's because that's when, like, Mac can rap, right? And he does rap about the things that he goes through and things that happening around him. You could tell when he was just partying all the time. Movies with the sound off. And that's just the kind of music he was into. But, like, there's certain moments on those albums where it's like he really lets himself shine, like who he is and what he likes and what he believes in. And it doesn't feel like he's thinking about anybody else in the world. And it felt like we didn't get a project full of that until Faces, some of Macadelic, and Good AM. Good AM was the turn of his career where it's like he's like, I don't give a fuck what any of y'all think. I'm gonna do what I like and what I believe in, and that's when we got the best Mac.
Do you feel like sometimes an artist can be, because you're bringing up Mac Miller, and that's why I'm asking this question. Do you think sometimes an artist can be too, like, what they choose to rap about is just like too heavy? Because
no.
Because the way I feel about, before you answer, the way I feel about swimming, that's why I asked that, because I feel like that was heavy. And then for him to accidentally commit suicide after, it's just like, it starts to feel like a suicide note.
Yeah, I don't think it was a suicide note.
I don't think it was, because I know the death was an accident. But it feels like
it's so morbid. But if you listen to Mac's music, he's talked about dying / overdosing like his entire discography. A lot of people say like when you talk about it so much, you invite it and whatnot. Yeah, and it's just like, nah, you never know when it's coming. But most of the greats rap about death, and I think it's because they understand how real of a thing it is. Like, it's promised to all of us. We're all gonna have to deal with it. And some people are in a place where they're not necessarily suicidal, but they may be passively suicidal, as in like they don't really care if they die. You know, they think like that alternative might not be the worst thing in the world. And everybody needs representation.
So does that also play into why you were saying you don't think some rappers could be too heavy in their music?
Yeah, nah, I don't think you can. I think, what's your purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, some people think Kendrick's last album was way too heavy. I think that some of those songs may have saved lives. You get what I'm saying?
I would agree with you.
I listened to it maybe for about like a week and a half straight, and I haven't listened to it since like the drop. And it's not that I hate it or anything like that. It's just that album was a lot to take in. It's kind of hard to listen to over and over and over again and refill those emotions. So I just really go back to like shit like Count Me Out and N95 and Silent Hill.
I go back to those too. Yeah.
So but I think that was his purpose. His purpose wasn't like, yo, I'm gonna go out here and sell 1 million records. And he did that with Damn. I think Damn was to prove like how much of a superstar he was. Yeah,
he even said I could have did it. Yeah, and I chose not to do another Damn.
But at the same time, you know, it's funny. He could say that, but at the same time, I'm always thinking like, I'm a great artist, but I'm human at the end of the day, right? If I really wanted to freak some shit and make it look cool, I could be like no matter what anybody says, somebody could be like, yo, this album didn't do this, and that, and then I could be like, it was on purpose. Just push the mic out. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, when he said that, I'm like, I feel like he should have just let the music speak for itself. Because when he said that, it's gonna be like Logic when he did that with Mind of Madness, or I forgot the name of that project. That his arguably worst project. Okay. And he was like, nah, but it was all satire. Everybody was just like, was it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I do think the latest Kendrick album is an incredible album. My favorite of his is still To Pimp a Butterfly.
Mine's too.
Yeah, then
my favorite.
Then Section 80.
Yo, I'm not a Section 80 fan at all.
Yo, you know, so many people aren't, but I think the reason Section 80 meant so much to me is because of nostalgia. I think like that's when I first really heard of Kendrick, like somewhere in between Section 80 and Overly Dedicated. Yeah. And like growing up, finding his music on SoundCloud and whatnot in high school, I'm just like he gets it. And like some people say that me and Kendrick are like in the same lane and whatnot. I believe it's because we have a lot of the same favorites. But like, I felt like, yo, I'm already doing what I'm doing. I sound like, if you go and listen to like the old music that I've done, I've always sounded like me before I even heard about Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But I felt like, yo, this nigga all the way on the other side of the country gets it. He gets what like I'm trying to accomplish right now. And it's been dope to have that representation because I believe it inadvertently made it easier and paved the way for me. I mean, maybe somebody might have looked at me and been like, yo, he's the most unique guy in the world if there wasn't a Kendrick Lamar. But he made it easier for people, for rap to accept that, because there wasn't anything like that since Lupe Fiasco. Yeah. I would agree with you. And your take on what you just said about Kendrick is exactly how I look at podcasting. And the reason why I look at it the same way, because when I was trying this and trying to figure this shit out, I bought this. And I said to myself, like, damn, yo. I still look at other people, Joe Budden and them, Nori and them, and I'll be like, yo, something missing. I know something missing. Of course, money, but something's missing. Yeah. Then I watched Gilly and Wallow. And they got this. And Wallow was like,
You know how much money talk through my microphone, and all we got is this. We got cameras, but this is what put everything together. We're not technical smart people, and I don't even watch their podcast.
Yeah,
I literally watched it because of the
clip.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the boy, and I'm like, I told my co-host, I said, I own that shit. He was like, you do. I was like, oh fuck it, I got everything I need now. Because so you looking at Kendrick like, yo, you across the world, and that's exactly how I looked at them. Like I used to really sit here like, yo, something got to be missing.
I just feel like if I had, I'll put another artist in this chair, Kanye West. I feel like if I had his budget and his reach, I feel like the music that I would make would be out of this world. I might be able to make the next like greatest album of the decade if I had that kind of access. But I'm learning so much, and there's people in the industry, like I'm not trying to name drop or anything, so I'm just not going to say the names, but there's people who are in the industry and have been in the industry enough who are actually taking the time to show me love and care for where I'm going to be musically, and I think that that's going to turn me into a monster.
All right. Right now, at the age you are, when it comes to your career, what would you say was the most discouraging thing you've ran into, and what would you say to you was your biggest blessing with it? Like whether it was meeting the artist or getting to work with an artist or just meeting somebody and they just like, yeah, this shit ass, and you was like, yo, I was hoping you didn't say that. I'm not going to tell you it hurt me, but I'm going to go home like, fuck you, I got you.
You know, it's hilarious. Nothing has ever been discouraging, I don't think. Like there's been people who've like, it's always been motivational.
Okay.
Like I guess something that should have been discouraging. You know this artist named Doja Cat?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say because I got a lot of shit to say about her. So
oh no, I ain't got nothing bad to say about her. But
I do.
I
am not a fucking fan, but I got
to me, she's an incredible artist. A lot of people call her the female version of Kendrick Lamar. I think she's been kind of in the same position where she's been doing what she's been doing for so long before. You know what I'm saying?
She's multi-talented. I definitely give her that.
Incredible and deserves her own lane. I feel like niggas should be called the male version of her. You know what I'm saying?
I give you that. She's very diverse.
Yeah, so she this is back like before Bitch I'm a Cow. I was a fan of her at least like
first time I heard it was Bitch I'm a Cow. So
that's the first time everybody heard her.
Yeah.
I'm like I was a fan of her for like maybe like 5 to 7 years before Bitch I'm a Cow. Like I was like heavy on her. She had this song called So High, and that's when I was put onto her. And I was following her on Twitter and everything. Like I really loved her music, and then she dropped this one song that was like. She actually used the same flow. It was she was like nah 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 nah. If you speed it up, bitch I'm a cow, bitch I'm a cow. You know what I'm saying? And I loved it, but like at the time I didn't know she was producing for herself. So I tweeted at her saying like, yo, like I feel like this song is so fucking dope and the flow is innovative, but the beat is the only thing that was lacking.
Yeah.
So like I'm a producer, like let me work with you, like. As a fan, and because I want to see you do the most amazing shit. So she reached out to me through DMs privately and said, yo, are you she said, nah, I appreciate you for trying to reach out to me. Let me hear your music. I didn't know she was trying to troll me at first. So she, I didn't know she was in them chat rooms. You know what I'm saying? So then, I'm joking. But nah, she reached out to me and was like, she said, so like what college did you go to? And I'm like, oh no, I didn't go to college. Like everything is self-taught. She was like, oh, so like what makes you feel like you have the right to like say this and that? So I'm like, oh, she's trying to stun on me. Yeah. All right, cool. And then she was like, nah, I don't like your music. The song that I had out at the time was OMG, which is a one of my bigger songs. And she was like, I don't like your voice. You sound prepubescent and da-da-da-da. Like, she was just trying to throw anything at me to make me insecure about my work because I obviously at that time, you know, put a chink in her armor. So, like, she said all of that. And throughout the conversation, I'm just like, look, like, I get it. My bad if what I said was out of line. I ain't mean to like hurt your feelings out. She was just still going on and on about it. So I was just like, it's all good, you know. But then it motivated me to make one of the best songs on the following project, Rose, and not Rose, Shine. And I still have not encountered Doja since then, but I can't wait to talk to her about that story because I have a feeling that like she would feel like, you know, like she shouldn't have responded in that way. Because I wasn't a troll. I wasn't trying to offend her or anything like that. And
this fly's fucking chilling.
It's all right, man. But nah, I think that if we both look back at that situation, I was wrong for just assuming that I had what it take to make her blow up when she was as talented as she is. But you know, at the same time, maybe we could have made something amazing.
As I was about to say, you probably did, but the thing was, it bothered her.
Yeah. And I get that, though. As an artist that's gotten where I've gotten now, I get it. Sometimes, but I don't get mad at criticisms. Only time I get mad is when somebody says something stupid. Like, that's the only time. If you say something to me like, if somebody heard Good Night and was like, yo, you're rapping too slow. It's like, yo, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, if somebody said, like, yo, why are you trying to be something you're not? I'm one of the realest. I don't never rap about anything I never did. So, like, it's like stupidity is the only thing that's just like, what? So I'm not going to get upset at, like, the trolls is going to be like, this album is mid and da-da-da. Because it's like, yo, you have your own opinion. If you do think it's mid, cool. I don't get why you bringing it to me, but whatever. Like, you still listened to it and streamed it, but anyhow,
I don't know why people don't understand that shit.
Yeah.
Like somebody I knew, they had some slick shit to say about my podcast. I said, I don't care. You watched it.
Yeah.
That view went from 1 to 2, bro. Yep. You ain't never gotta come back. We good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Support is support. Whether you like that you supported me, that's a personal problem.
I feel like the internet is a very accurate resemblance of real life. If you give something attention, you gave it attention.
That's all. Like if you, even if it's something negative, if Doja Cat wouldn't have DM'd you and kept that on her wall, it would have looked. You would have got follows because it would have been people who agreed. And instead of them writing, I agree with him, they would have just clicked follow.
She DM'd me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if she never did that, it would have also changed you. Like people,
I think if she didn't do that, I would have been like, I would have just been here with an egg face, like, look at where she's at now. I was wrong. Maybe I could have approached her differently. For example, I did the same thing with Token. I'm not sure if you know who Token is.
I know Token.
Really dope MC. I did the same thing with him where I was like, yo, this is dope, and you've been doing this for a long time, but I feel like you can take your shit in a different lane. He DM'd me to ask me to send him beats. And I think that humbleness, like, he hasn't rapped on any of those beats yet. There could be nothing that comes out of that. But that humbleness of like, yo, let me at least hear what you got. Maybe you can add on to what I'm doing. I think will keep him going up and up and up. And nobody's bigger than Doja Cat right now. And I hope that she stays successful. I honestly feel like that was just a bad night that I caught her on. You never know what somebody's going through. But I think like that state of mind of like being able to take advice, no matter from who, can just take you anywhere because you never know who's who.
I agree with you.
I look at my fans like that when they're like, yo, this dude sent me this beat earlier today that I'm just like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. And I'm a producer. I can make most of the things that I want to. But he sent me something. I'm just like, imagine if I was just like, nah, I'm not looking for beats right now.
Nah, that's true. That's true. That's why I reach out. Like when I reached out to you, like I was like, and I reached out to a couple of y'all, you, Blaze. I reached out to a couple of y'all. Like,
please tell me Blaze coming through. That man is amazing.
He never read it.
No, I'm gonna make that happen.
He never looked because the way I looked at it, I was like this. I was like, because the way I do my research before I even waste my time. Like so, like with him, no, that wasn't him. It was Lex Baxter.
Lex Bratcher.
I want to make sure I say her name right.
Yeah.
I seen she was in California, I think. So I ain't even waste my time. Cause I seen she wasn't even over here.
Yeah.
Because I would have had to do the whole next time you went.
She got family not in Jersey but in the DMV.
Oh, all right.
So
I was just like, yo, I mean, I'm gonna wait, see it, cause that's how. So when I checked you, I was like, oh no, you put up some video, and I was like, oh, I know where he at.
Yeah,
that's how I did it. So I was like, all right. Yeah. So when I hit him up, I knew where he was from. I knew I lived in East Orange. I knew the whole thing with Blaze. So I'm like, all right. I hit him up, sent him a message. He never read it. I was like, all right, never mind. I'm gonna just move on. But then you answered, and I was like, gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Blaze, he's a really good dude. He's just in the middle of, like, he's not just a rapper.
Yeah, nah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
he's doing Wu-Tang Saga.
He's doing a lot of different things right now. So it's like a lot of different opportunities don't get to him. And I literally got off the phone with him talking about, like, I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but it was a situation where somebody wanted him to do something. They reached out to him. He didn't respond because he's not always responsive in the DMs. And then they saw him in real life and they like threw a little shade to him. But he was like, "Yo, why they do that?" And I'm just like, you should be upset at them for throwing shade, but it's just like, but they can't be upset at you for your availability. It's tricky. But deep down, he's a really good person.
But that's why I do this. I sent it. I checked him. Probably like a week at, like a couple of days after you said, yeah, you'll do it. I checked it. I said, oh, he ain't even read it. So if I ever bump into him, why would I throw shade? I know he didn't see it.
Yes.
I know for a fact it wasn't seen.
Yeah.
So when I see him, it's like, yo, bro, you should. Be like, oh, contact me. I did. You ain't read it.
Oh,
like I just let you know. Like, yeah, I did. I did. Like even when we was talking with like some other guests, my co-host hit them up. They say yeah, and then never hit them back. And then I'll follow up. But I'll follow up. Yeah. Like, yo, you spoke to my co-host. He said that. And I get a whole rundown. Like, oh, yeah, no problem. This, that. And I just be sitting there like, my co-host don't get mad. He'll just be like, well, you know, that's why you Mike A. You send Mike B, but that's why you Mike A. I be like, yeah, whatever.
Nah, I mean, truth be told, like, it depends on what I got time for. Like, I was supposed to do a interview yesterday. And then I just, like, I got way too caught up and said, like, you know, we got to reschedule for Saturday. But that's not me trying to blow people off. It's just like, this life is a little crazy. Nah,
I know. And you be moving, man. Like, I be seeing, I be like, man. So, like, when did you know that this was the moment? Like it came, you were sitting down, whether it was the account, whether it was a tweet, whether somebody, like, something just was like, Mama, I'm making it. If I ain't made it, we baking that shit right. It's in the oven right now. If it ain't made, it's getting hot in this motherfucker.
You know, it's funny. It's the most peculiar thing, and not really. It's not what most artists would say. It was gratifying in a very different way. I was talking to somebody in the DMs, and they said that, like, my music helped them believe in God again, and that I had the craziest mixture of anxiety, but not like anxiety like bad anxiety. It was good anxiety. I was like hyperventilating and like crying tears of joy, like happy. And I think that moment was just like, even if I can't do that again, even if I don't touch another, you know, person again, I fulfilled my goal in one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's all I got. Is like, yo, that's really like, that's amazing because you hear stories like, for you being an artist, like you said, you like Eminem, so you hear when he rapped those stories, and then for you to have that moment, it's like, damn. I feel like when Eminem did the whole thing for the moment, like you feel like, now I know what he felt like, because it's like and I'm on the pod where I talk about music and artists all the time. Like, we did one segment, like I told you, the segment that we brought you up in. We did one segment. Half of the segment was bigging y'all up, and the other half of the segment, I was wilding. Like, y'all corny. Like, not y'all, but you get what I'm saying? Like, because he was like bigging y'all up, like naming everybody and everything. And I was just like, yo, for the people that's not named them, get that shit up, because y'all sound crazy. Like, because sometimes you need the honesty. Because I don't care how big a motherfucker is. Some people are huge and they suck.
Yeah, no,
like, I mean, badly. But we ain't in no position to tell them that because we're not as big as them.
As a businessman, you got to be able to bet on the guy who has the ambition and the drive more than the guy who has the talent. Because if you got talent but don't have ambition or drive, you're not going anywhere, no matter what. No, there's nothing nobody can do for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I blame all of the talented musicians out there who aren't giving it their best, who did give up. All of
I
you
wish
talented,
they never did.
Yeah, all of you talented people who just decided to give up on your dream, you're the reason that music is in the state it's in, if you do feel like it's in a bad state.
I would agree with you. So, we got a game we usually play, but my co-host ain't here, so I have to do it for him. He sent it over to me so I could read it to you. Gotcha. The game is called Cap or Facts. So he asks you 5 questions. If you agree, it's facts. If you don't agree, it's cap. But you have to explain why you're choosing either or as the answer.
Got you.
All right, let me hit his button.
Stop the cap.
So his first question is, the music industry doesn't appreciate independent artists.
There's no way to answer that. 'Cause my question is, what is the music industry?
All right, I guess he looked at it.
Is Jay-Z in the music industry? Does he appreciate independent artists?
Here we go. I can answer that for him. What he mean is, Bobby Shmurda just did an interview talking about Joyner Lucas.
Yeah.
And he was saying how like Joyner Lucas doesn't get enough credit and enough respect for being who he is in hip hop. And
is that lack of appreciation though?
Nah, but the people he said he's only sold 20% of his stuff. Like he owns majority of it. If they talked about him more artists will understand the independent business the way he does it.
Yeah.
But since they keep him under a blanket and only fans know who he is, the independent artists, like when Mac Millen Wiz was blowing, everybody started following him. Like, oh yeah, they independent, we doing it.
Yeah.
But then when they both got record deals, it kind of killed the whole.
Yeah.
So he's saying like,
but the purpose of
is that the industry that does that, like purposely hide independent artists?
Yes, they do. That's facts. But as far as appreciation, that's kind of semantics right there. But I also will say that damn, what was I gonna say? That the goal of being an independent artist is leverage. It's never been about like I'm independent for the sake of being independent. Because I'll take a quote from Lupe Fiasco from Leora Cohen. He said Lupe tried to buy his masters and Leora was like, "What are you going to do with these masters?" And Lupe didn't, at least at the time, didn't know anything about sync licensing and whatnot. So he was just like stumped, like, damn. You know, so like you can be an independent artist and not be able to do a lot of the things that labels will help you do in as far as relationships and whatnot. But at what cost? How far can you get independently? And once you get to a certain point that you have the leverage to be like, yo, I still want to own all of my masters and you take 20% and I take 80% kind of thing. Like that's the leverage that was built. And I don't think Joyner is in a specific deal right now. He can do whatever he wants, but that's because he earned it and got to a point where it's like, you know, he can do that.
Okay. His second question was, making the amount you want to make keeps you happy. Like whether it's
money,
whether it's somebody telling you like, yo, you need 15 tracks on this tape, and you like, yo, I feel like this is an 8-track tape. Do you feel like doing what you fully want to do, or like basically just you fully controlling you is more important to making you happy than somebody else?
Yeah, I would say facts.
You would say
because if I fuck up, I get to blame it on me, and that's okay. I get to learn from it.
The world is a better place with good music.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Facts. I'm trying not to be too long-winded.
You could do, yo, I ain't got nothing but time. You want to be long-winded, get ahead. Don't bother me. You can't let what people think about you bother you. And we spoke on this earlier.
What are people saying about you? Who are you?
Well,
were you like a 27-year-old dude who started dating a 17-year-old girl and was just like, oh, she's close enough to 18 in your mind, and then people started judging you for it, and then you got, I'm making up a scenario.
I got you.
But then like,
that's why I looked at you.
Like then is the world gonna look at you and be like, yo, you're sick for doing that, and then eventually you're gonna be like, you know what, you're right. I am sick and I took advantage of that situation. Let me move on with somebody my own age. Then that's a good way to let the world. What the world's saying about you bother you, because sometimes we be wrong, and that's not me. That's not me. But like, there's some things that I've in this life have like gotten wrong, and then I've had to get criticism in order to be like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah, I did not. That was
It's a very particular
answer.
situation.
That was an answer.
Yeah.
All right. That was an answer, yeah. All right, his last question was, does the summertime make you appreciate winter more? Because it's 100 fucking degrees.
Yeah, but I think of it like this.
Okay.
Whenever it get this hot and I'm outside, I'm like, I can't take this. It make me not want to sin. I'll be like, I can't do hell. If this is like, if this is bad and I'm suffering in this, I can't do hell. It made me appreciate the fact that I'm not in hell right now.
I love that fucking answer.
Yeah.
I love that answer because I told my boy, he's like, yeah, I love the summer. I said, I hate the summer. I don't care about how women dress. I got a son. I don't care about no damn water park. They say, yo, what's your biggest problem? You know how hard it is to cool off than it is to warm up? I said, that's why I hate the summer.
I like the summer. I mean, I started liking the winter once I got a car.
I started liking the winter once I became a mailman.
What? That don't make no sense.
Do
at
you
all.
know how easy it is to warm up than to stay? Like, perfect example. It's 90 degrees.
But you stay in the car for the most part.
Like, it's 90 degrees out there. You just told me to turn that off. If it was 0 degrees out there, you would have never told me to turn the heat off.
Oh.
You would have sat there like, coat on and everything. Like, nah, I'm good. We're going to do this whole hour or whatever. But in here, you was like, you can turn that shit. It's cold in here. But that's not everywhere.
That's true.
Because you can leave out of here and your AC don't work. Now you in the hot ass outside, into the hot ass car, into the hot ass store who AC is broke. But everybody got heat. Just close the door.
There's so many ways to stay cool in the summer. Like, you may not have AC, like the AC in your house could be broke today. But like, screw it, I'm gonna go outside and sit under a tree. You know, get the natural shade and whatnot, feel the breeze. Or I'm gonna go for a ride in the car, use the car AC, or at least use the wind that's coming from me driving all fast. Or go to the pool, go to the beach. There's just so much more you can do.
But then
in
you
the
got
winter,
that heat wave.
Nah, but in the winter, everything is shot. You can't do anything outside, yo.
First of all, if you ain't got heat in your house, I don't know. But I'm just saying.
But you talking about staying in the house, like
you.
In the winter, you can't ride.
You can't do nothing.
You can't run outside, dude. You know how cold air feels in the lungs when you running.
Yeah, I do.
I'm not running for my life in the winter.
We got to talk this through.
Yeah.
All right, and those was his 5 Kappa facts. And then I have a game real quick called Either Or. You ain't even got to. If you want to break down your answer, you can break it down. So it's either or. Producing or rapping?
Rapping. Because you can make people feel good through music and like the beat and all of that. But I feel like it's really lyrics that make people feel something.
Which one's harder though?
Harder to do?
Yeah.
It depends on the genre. It depends on what you're trying to do.
I'm only saying that because I seen Metro Boomin make a beat in 4 minutes.
But it depends on the kind of beat. Like, I feel like it's not easy to do what Metro does the way he does it. Metro is Metro for a reason. But that genre is a lot easier to get right and do it quickly than it is for a lot of other genres or even sections of hip hop.
Since you have appreciation for both, because one of them you do for a living, hip hop or soul? Because you love Stevie Wonder, so hip hop or soul?
Hip hop, because soul is in hip hop, but hip hop isn't in soul.
You can actually argue that hip hop isn't in soul. Because hip hop, you can actually argue that hip hop is in soul.
Nah, hip hop derived from soul.
True, but everything is a rhythm. Everything comes back to a rhythm.
That's true, but that's not hip hop.
Because Jamaicans swear we took their
music.
they swear we took their shit. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's all right. So that's true, but like hip hop is way more than just a rhythm, a tempo.
Okay,
it's a feeling. It's a certain kind of aggression, a certain kind of feeling. You know what I'm saying? Which you can't emulate anywhere else. You could try to like do a pop record that's hip hop, but if it's not hip hop enough, it will be just a pop record.
Okay, that was a good way to put it. Now, final question, because you told me your like for both and your appreciation for both, just musically, not as a rapper, just musically. Doja Cat or Eminem? because they're so different. So musically, if you had to just be there, put out your mind that Eminem one of the greatest people you ever heard.
Doja Cat isn't making music for me.
All right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. You appreciate her, but it's not for you.
Extremely talented. She's I don't want to say she's more talented than Eminem, but I would say if we just had Eminem's last 2 albums and Doja Cat's last 2 albums, Doja, I feel like, puts a little more talent into it. I don't even know if I can even say that much.
I was about to say, you rapped over Lucky You. That was one of the last 2.
Nah, everybody know I'm a big Eminem fan, but at the same time, I understand that, like, there's a big problem. I was going to say in hip-hop, but in the music industry as a whole, where we discredit women and what they do. True. But Eminem produces his own beats, too. Doja Cat...
very underrated producer too.
I feel like Doja Cat can do some of what Eminem does, but Eminem can't do what Doja Cat does. And that's the difference. But I would rather listen to Eminem. And I feel like Eminem makes music for me. And I feel like Eminem's a better rapper. I feel like Eminem's a better producer. But M can't make the style of music that Doja does.
But
not that he shouldn't either, but he can't. In my opinion.
So that was my either or. So you asked.
I still don't know if I gave a real answer for that.
You did. You picked Eminem for the music is more for you.
Yeah.
So if Doja made music more for you, I ain't gonna lie. If you would have picked Doja. By the way you broke that down, but because Eminem is more for you, so it's like, yo, I'm pretty sure I'm not skipping nothing. But with Doja, I'm pretty sure these 4 ain't going.
Yeah.
So I mean, so you gave a good enough answer.
Like, I can listen to Doja, but I don't.
I like 3 Doja Cat songs.
Only 3?
I like the joint with. I'm a huge SZA fan. So the joint with her and SZA, the joint with her and the City Girls.
Which one was that again?
Pussy Talk.
Oh yeah.
And Streets. They used it for the Silhouette Challenge.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of those 3 songs.
I would say my top 3.
I don't like shit else from those. I be trying too. Yeah.
I like So High. I like Woman.
I heard that.
That song is crazy. I like the Didn't Need to Know It.
I know just
it. That song is incredible. I also like, she got another one that's crazy that's out there right now, but yeah, she's really talented.
Who's your dream collaborator?
Stevie Wonder.
Why even ask that? Who's your dream hip hop collaborator? Because
okay.
Stevie Wonder.
All right, so
Stevie Wonder the GOAT. So
it's not just because Stevie Wonder the GOAT, but it's like, let's be real, like, our legends are going every day. I don't know how much more time that I got to work with Stevie Wonder. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a must. If God forbid, let's just say Stevie Wonder had 10 more years left, and I can choose to not have a successful career, but get that feature from Stevie Wonder in 5 years, I would take that over something that will instantly blow me up because of how much he means to me as an artist.
That's real.
But hip hop wise, what are we talking? We talking about making a song or rapping? I
would, when it's your dream, it's however you want that to go. Like,
I have to have 2 answers then.
All right, give me the 2 answers, but I'm just saying hip-hop, it has to be exactly what
if we're making a song, like trying to make a song in hip hop, Tyler the Creator.
I'm gonna dap you up for that shit. I'm a huge fucking I'm since Bastard. Since fucking Bastard. That is my dream guess.
Wow. Yeah, that's gonna be incredible.
That is my dream. Oh my, I know he all the way. One day I'm gonna be in Cali and I'm gonna hit his fucking phone. I'm gonna find a way to get in touch with him. Because he gives me the I'm not gonna say no attitude. He gives me the all right, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, most definitely. But him. And if we're trying to make a great like rap song, like we just either rapping at each other or rapping with each other, selling a story or whatever, Lupe Fiasco.
You know what? Because you potting with me, and this is just not an interview, I got a serious question for you. Do you feel like Lupe put himself in a box he shouldn't have had to put himself in?
I feel like Lupe was always in that box, and the world just discovered it more and more.
I disagree. Lupe will make you believe. I'm a Lupe fan. My favorite album from Lupe is The Cool.
I think that's it's either my first or second.
Let me rephrase it. I have an episode called My Top 25 Favorite Albums of All Time. That's on the list. I love the Cool. That's how much I think
that may be my first or second favorite hip hop album of all time. Yeah.
This is what I tell. This is why I say this. When Lupe go on rants sometimes and he be coming at people, Lupe was always a lyrical rapper. I felt like, you know how like some people, Eminem doing it now, where it's like, for some strange reason, I want to put a lot of emphasis on lyricism. Like a lot of it. Like I know I can do good songs and good music, but I just want to get you. But Eminem never denies that he was a good song maker. He just like, yo, I want to rap. Lupe tends to talk about himself sometimes like the industry don't fuck with him.
Because the industry doesn't. The people fucks with Lupe. But it's like this, like, what he can make the most amazing song in the world.
Yeah.
But if people are blocking the opportunities to get that song to the people that would appreciate that, then, you know, it's kind of like, what is it worth? And he still, you know, by the grace of God, he still makes amazing music and drops music for his fans. And he's focusing specifically on his fan base. But I think I wish he had the industry support. Some artists won't even work with him or shout out his album or anything like that because they feel like, whoa, I don't want any problems with the people that he has problems with.
But this is why I made that statement, though. I know they can call Lupe Fiasco and he can do a verses. But Lupe will make you believe he can't. When it's like, yo, I know you hit records. I know you have not too many rappers and not too many artists in the world of music.
Do you think he's like delusional about his own greatness, you're saying?
Yes, because this is what I tell people. You can count on your hands. You have 10 fingers. You can count on your hands how many rap artists have had Song of the Year. Lupe's on the list with Superstar. Yeah. But he'll talk
like he doesn't have that in his catalog.
Like, yo, you have one of the biggest rap
or
records.
Even Show Goes On. Like he's had them hits.
Daydream.
Yeah.
Kick Push. He act like none of, he appreciates Kick Push. But he act like none of the other songs ever came out. And I'm like, yo, you're really delusional about yourself to think you used to write hits all the time.
So self-perception, I think self-perception can be an amazing or bad thing. I think he knows who he is as a human being and lives off of that, but sometimes forgets who he is as an artist, or maybe he's just letting the people, maybe he doesn't want to be like Soulja Boy with it, where he's got to, you know, talk about his greatness everywhere he goes. You know what I'm saying?
But he used to have a balance. Like, what's the name of the album he did? So you're a fan. So what's the name of the album he did with the dinosaurs?
Oh, that was House.
We ain't need that shit.
We ain't need it.
What I mean, we ain't need it. He ain't need to make it.
You know why he made it?
He's
though,
such
right? He made it for his nephews.
Then just give it to him.
My
son loved dinosaurs, but I'm not playing that. My son loved dinosaurs.
You know why Lupe is my favorite rapper?
Well,
because he proves time and time again that there's no limit to rap. You can literally rap about anything.
Yeah, his new album was done on a USB microphone.
Yep.
Did you know that?
Yep.
A USB?
I don't like rappers doing that. I don't like successful rappers doing that. Like, I'll say, you know, appreciate you and love you, Lupe. Hopefully you ain't got a problem with this. But I get pissed when I invest in my own career over the years, thousands, into getting the proper equipment to just do things.
You do that shit with some backyard shit.
Yeah. And it's like, and it's the only reason I have a problem against it though is like when Kanye recorded the Jesus is King album mostly on an iPhone. Like with the iPhone mic, it's just like, bro, you don't have to do that. You came so far, and I get it, wanting to keep the inspiration in the moment going and stuff like that. But it's like, I feel like we all have a responsibility to deliver a quality packaged product to everybody.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? And Lupe's album still sounds amazing. Whoever mixed it, great job. But it's just like, how would it have sounded if it was done?
Because when he announced that's how he did it, I said, yeah, but everybody don't have your engineer, bro. Because the engineer who did your tape is the person who did your first album.
But I'm trying to figure out the purpose of doing that.
I looked at it as
I record at home. There's no song that's released of mine with vocals on it that was recorded in the studio. Not one. I've recorded it all in home. I may not have the best quality in the world, but I try to make sure my shit sits up there with everybody else. And what I mean by that is Lupe could have got himself a Chaotica eyeball, like the shit that goes around the mic. He could have got himself a Neumann TLM 107 mic. I don't know if I'm like speaking Chinese right now.
Nah, I know what you. Shit, I be looking at Mike. You talking in the $20?
Yeah. See, this sounds amazing
I
for
know.
20. But what I'm saying is though, like if you have the option, if you're Lupe fucking Fiasco, you may not be getting all of the royalties and whatnot, but you're doing these shows and you're making it more than 1,000 on these shows.
Yes.
Then you should be able to do one show and be like, I'm going to invest in the mic that would make me sound best. And like, my thing is, I don't get why he did it, and maybe that's my frustration. I don't have a problem with it. My frustration is with things I don't understand.
No, I agree with you because you see what I record. You see the camera.
Yeah.
You know how hurt I'll be when I finally make it to that camera.
Yeah.
And then Joe Button will be like, well, you know, we use the iPhone 15. I'm
Yeah.
like, motherfucker, I could have just got the iPhone.
All right, so that's true, but it's like, if that did happen, you would have been like, all right, how did you edit it to get it looking as good as it did?
And that's what
quality was so good.
And that's what I always focus on.
But Lupe's last album, mic quality, isn't on par with a lot of his other albums.
I give you that.
You get what I'm saying?
Because I heard that
the music is on par with other
albums. But then I thought
albums.
he did it on purpose. Like, because, you know, some people record into these good-ass mics and EQ it to sound crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
but there's certain things that those mics pick up. Like, I don't know how to explain this shit, yo. Like, if you're doing that, then have an album that's like that and name it Vinyl Days. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like Logic, when Logic did that, I don't know if he recorded it on the old mic, but he's like, nah, this is literally an album conceptualized as an old hip-hop album. The latest album didn't feel like it was supposed to be that.
I give you that. Because I'm a Freddie Gibbs fan. Yeah, first of all, when I look into stuff like that, I look past the equipment. Because Freddie Gibbs did an album with the producer Malibu. And Malibu put out, I made every beat on the iPad.
But that's different. That don't affect the quality.
I know, but shit like that, it kind of confuses me when I see stuff like that. Because then I be like, so why the fuck people buy all this high-tech equipment?
When you can make it on the iPad.
And every beat was good on Freddie Gibbs' album. And I was just like, wow, this shit. And he was like, iPad, 20 minutes. I did
But that's all right. Imagine if Kanye said, I recorded My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy,
my favorite album,
on an iPhone. If he said that, I would have been like, yo, now I get it. Like, we don't need any of that bullshit. But no, the one he said that he did that with was the one with the worst quality on there. So it's like, what's the point of bragging about it if it didn't make it better?
If it's not top 10, I
get to say I never had to record in the studio, and all of my albums was recorded in my own home, which can make somebody with a studio be like, what the fuck? Like, but at least my shit sounds like it was recorded in the studio, and that's the reason why I'm bragging about it.
So do you mix?
Yeah, I mixed all.
That's fire. That's fire. So
I'm still learning though. I'm not the best.
Oh, all right. So you do mix though, because I know the hardest part about making music is mixing. Because my boys send me rough drafts of their music. So first of all, I got a whole nother outlook on rapping now that I hear rough drafts.
Yep.
And my boy sent me one. He like, turn this up. I text him back like, no. He was like, wow. I said, yo, you loud as fuck. And this beat, man. He was like, all right, wait till I get it mixed. He sent it mixed.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this shit hard. He was like, yeah, but you ain't hear what I was hearing. I said, because you sent it to me with the vocals.
Exactly. Nah, it's not even just like the vocals, but it's just like the loudness that a master makes it, and like a song can hit completely different. Sometimes in the middle of me recording a song, I mean, the song might not even be done. I mix and master the shit like while it's not done, while there's a whole fucking verse missing and all of that, just to hear what it's going to sound like or close to what it's going to sound like.
Shit.
Yeah, to know if it's worth finishing.
Yo, that is. All right. So I'm going to give you one more question before I let you get about it. I know you're a busy man.
Oh, no, it's all good. I got at least another half hour.
Okay. What's your favorite project from yourself?
Definitely Duality. And I'm not saying it because it's my most recent album on some like promo shit.
Okay.
But I'm saying that that's my favorite one because it's like all of the things that I learned over the years wrapped in one. You know what I'm saying? It's got some of the raw emotion of the Gray Area, which is my first project, and then but has all of the creativity of Trust the Weird Kids, but dialed back to the point where the concept doesn't limit the album. You know, and I feel like it's the best representation of me. That the purpose of that project was just to be like, this all of this stuff is within me. And there's still more things that I'm learning and whatnot. But as far as what I knew in that moment or knew in those moments, this is me. I am, you know, duality. I am an 80s pop record followed after followed by a 90s R&B song, followed after a Kanye inspired 808 and Heartbreaks type record, followed after a Flume electronic kind of sound and beat. Like, I'm all of these things in one, and this is me. It's me saying, hi, I'm Samad Savage to the world.
Do you feel like you got the reception you was looking for with it?
Man, I got way beyond what I thought I was gonna get. I was number 5 on the hip hop charts of iTunes.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say I didn't think I can do that, but I'm saying, like, after going so hard for so long, if shit doesn't work out the way you want it to work out, you're kind of used to it. Okay. I ain't expected to work out to that extent. I said, let's go number 1 and da. Not trying to get to number 1, but just saying, like, it'd be nice if it gets on there.
If it get looked at, yeah.
That shit got to, like, it started off on, like, at, like, 53 in there. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, I'm actually in here. Like, I stepped in the door. And the funny thing is, a lot of people, I think, bought that album because they were like, the way that Jersey supports, Jersey won't support until they see it's possible.
Oh my God!
A lot of people be like,
who telling?
A lot of people be like Jersey don't support Jersey, and it's like, nah, Jersey doesn't support unless they see potential. Jersey is like a businessman. It's an investor, kind of. So, like, once I got to the, like, 53rd spot, everybody was like, oh, it's possible. And then that's when the purchases of the album started flooding in, because everybody's like, he can do it. Like, we might as well support it now. Yeah. So, a lot of people have a love-hate with Jersey because of that, but I don't have any hate because it's like, you know what? Jersey is kind of like a family. You could talk about all you want to do and whatnot, but the second that you prove yourself is when the family is going to support. Also, another way we're like a family is, like, we going to talk shit about each other and all of that. Let an outsider talk shit about us. Yeah. We all going to band together. We had so many people for at least a year straight not fucking with Chief Keef.
Yo, I got a lot of family members that do music. They disc records are sitting right on YouTube.
Yep.
And these are Chief Keef fans.
I was one of them. And you know what's funny though? It wasn't because of the whole Blow New Jersey Up line. I just didn't get shit, and I publicly apologize on Twitter about that. But, like, I still regret that because it's just like, who the fuck did I think I was? You know what I'm saying?
That's a realization.
Yeah.
I fucks with that because I don't know. Sometimes you could be loyal to a fault. Because, like you said, Jersey fuck with people that they see can do it.
Yeah.
There's a chance you did all that shit and you're going to meet Chief Keef and he's seen it.
Yeah.
And I mean on some, you was a nobody.
Yep.
So then you going to be like, oh, yo, what's up? My name's Smile. Yeah, I know. You gonna be like, fuck you mean? You like, yeah, you the one with the disc joint, right?
Bro, that happened with do you know who Futuristic is?
I used to be a big fan of Futuristic, and I felt like he oversaturated himself.
Damn.
Like when Futuristic was blown up, when he was doing the freestyles on everything, I went and listened to the music, and I was like, damn, Futuristic hard. Like But then I realized every fucking month I was bumping a new Futuristic tape, but I'm like, all right, so this is just too much, bro.
You know,
that's what you reminded me of a little bit.
It works for some people. It doesn't work for others. Like, I feel like Futuristic is more of a, like, take a year off, here's another album artist. Yeah. Because it's a lot to digest. He's a really talented artist. While Russ is more of I gotta drop a single every other week.
That's how I blew.
It reminds you of how talented. Yeah. So, like, it's different for everyone. But what I was gonna say about Futuristic is he did one of those one take challenges. I got to the 3rd spot. And I was not the 3rd spot. I was in top 15, not top 3. And I was just like, I ain't win because you was afraid to rap with me. Like, I'm once again who the fuck am I? But I was just like, I let somebody get in my head and be like, bro, like, nah, the only reason you didn't win because you the best out of all these niggas. The only reason you didn't win, you can out rap everybody. And they ain't want, you know. So years down the line, he does another challenge. Oh no, he hits me up just to say, like, what's up? He sees me working out here. I'm just like, yo, thank you. But, like, truth be told, like, I dish you. I did some bullshit, like, back then. Like, I didn't want him to
find it later.
A. B, I'm a real person. I don't want him to think everything was always hunky dory with me. Like I'd rather just be like, yo, like I did some bullshit. And he was like, nah, it's all good. We follow each other. Everything's cool. A couple of weeks down the line, he does his own challenge, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it. And I ended up winning it. And I would say I ended up winning it because I did have like the best verse there. It wasn't on no like, you know, he fucks with me now and da-da-da. Ended up doing it, and part of what you won was to get on the song of his. And I told him like, yo, I fucks with you like heavy, yo. Let's like make a song from scratch. I'm not just trying to hop on like one of your tracks, like. And I think it's one of the better tracks. I want to say best, but I'm humble. So one of the better tracks off of that project. So yeah, me and Futuristic cool now, and he's taught me so much about independency.
That's fire. Yo.
Shout out Indie Amplify.
That's I'm a. I didn't even know you worked with Futuristic too. So that's what
Yeah.
But I was a Futuristic fan. I just felt like he oversaturated. Like, yo, what turned me off of Logic was Futuristic just oversaturates.
What's the name of this podcast?
I don't care what you think,
bro.
Yeah,
you think a lot about artists. I felt like you have like a lot of artists you just don't fuck with.
But that's why I said. That's why I said it's cool. I don't care. But Pete, I'm a Logic fan. When I first started this podcast, year one, I had Logic as one of the top, like Kendrick, Cole. I had Logic up there.
Lupe Fiasco said Logic was better than Kendrick at one point.
I never felt that way, but
I never felt that way either. But I'm saying that's how insane Logic's come up was.
But this was my problem with Logic, and it's called I don't care what you think because see how it's my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't care if you disagree.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. So
no, I love that. Yeah.
So what happened was, big Logic fan. I was putting people up on Logic. Mad, we love Logic. Under Pressure is that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
then he dropped Everybody.
Why is it Everybody for Everybody?
I'm about to tell you
That's
what.
always the album that everybody's just like, bro, I just stopped fucking with him at this point.
I always knew he was mixed.
But because he kept talking about it?
You like Everybody?
Yes.
All right. Let me tell you why is Everybody for Everybody. You don't feel like he pandering?
All right, so
that's the problem. There ain't even no second problem. When I heard it, the song he got when it was Everybody. The song Everybody. When he like, yo, I got the cousin named Keisha, I got the aunt that's the crackhead, and I'm like, yo, whoa, bro, I know you mixed. My nigga. Like, then that's when he started using nigga. Like, nigga, this a nigga. I'm like, yo.
No, it's not. He was using nigga on the tapes a while ago.
He was. But this
was
nigga
on Under Pressure.
This was the tape. It was nigga like the skin was brown, nigga. Like it's like, yo, he said nigga, and I'm just like, yo, where does Logic come from? Like, but it was shoved down my throat. Cause it was like, yo, you could have eased me into I'm about to introduce my black side. But then he started going on interviews. Hip hop don't like me, and I just want the urban people to respect me. And then it's like, yo, you're doing way too much to be mixed. We fuck with J. Cole.
Yeah.
Like, just stay like my whole thing was
Logic's the only biracial rapper that looks white.
But it didn't like, yo, how are you?
It didn't matter.
Like, and then it was the Fed.
But it mattered. It didn't matter to us as fans.
To him.
And no. I mean, it ended up mattering to him, but it did matter a lot. A lot of people didn't give him the respect because they looked at him like, who is this white boy? And like, he's never been through anything.
That's what made it worse. Because then let's take you for an example. Like you said, you don't come from certain areas and certain backgrounds. You looking at Logic like, you know, some of them people you whining about probably don't fuck with me neither because I don't come from. That's what I had the problem with. Like, okay, you was harping that the urban side of him, like the street side.
It depends on what you appreciate.
But he wasn't a street rapper.
For example, Kanye West.
Okay,
he's from South Side of Chicago, right? He's in the Drink Champs thing. He was talking about like, bro, I love like gangster rap music. Like I used backpack music to get where I'm at and like, and I think that when you a fan of that shit and then somebody tells you can't do that shit, like it's so hard to talk about this without sounding like a fucking dweeb, right?
Nah, that's like, good. I got you though.
But like, I have experiences. Everybody knows somebody that can put in work if it's time to put in work, right?
Yeah.
But I don't hold on to that. But anytime that I mention that, it's part of me. I say it like I just said it in this conversation. I got a song on my next. Ooh, not gonna say too much, but I have a song. But I have a song that says, get the fuck out my face with that bullshit. Never killed nobody. That just mean I got a full clip. I mean, that song's not out, but I've said things like that before where it's like, I just said that I never killed anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying who I am. I'm not even, niggas don't even come at 50 Cent for saying you can find me in a club bottle full of bub. He don't even drink.
Yeah.
But they let it go because it's 50. Peace to 50. Respect to you. But I'm saying that, like, some people just don't let shit down. There's been people who said about me, like, bro, he talk like he tough. It's like, what, you want me to be pussy just because I'm not from your town?
Nah, and the crazy thing is, I'm a big Logic fan. Like, I even reached out to Logic to, like, see, because I know him and Wiz is coming over here.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to get him. Like, I know you coming, so what's up? But my whole thing with Logic was just like, I just didn't like that shift because
just wear a safety jacket, have a camera on you, meet him backstage.
I try that because my whole thing was you started whining. Like, you literally were doing interviews. Like, I just went to Urban Community. Let me help you out, bruh. They ain't gonna buy it. The greatest street rapper, his biggest supporter is not the street person. His biggest supporter is DMX sell out continents and countries.
But on that same album, he had
good songs on it.
Not talking about just good songs, but I'm saying, like, if we talking about, I think he already realized that. Because he had Black Spider-Man, he had 1-800, he had the Anxiety track. He had so many different tracks on there that's like, I know who my audience is. I know who I can get.
And then look what he was complaining about.
I think he was complaining about it because he knew I think he knew that he was going to do pop or like go into like a poppier area and didn't want to lose his street cred that he worked so hard to build up.
But this was the thing, though. If it's not there, why you starting the conversation?
I think it was there. Nah, he had street cred.
I felt like
to an extent. There's a lot of people that I know from
where he from.
Yeah, but not even where he from. But like, there's people that I knew everywhere. Like, you know, I got so much family and friends in North. Although I'm from Montclair, they was bumping Logic with me around the same time on that Young Sinatra shit. You know, but and he had that audience. And he lost it once he went pop and tried to keep that audience. You got to either do one or the other.
You gotta embrace that you're like I don't know. I just looked at it like this, right? This like, yo, I'm bumping Logic. Mind you, I'm one of the urban fans that he wish he had more of. I'm bumping it like, damn, Logic is hard. And then when he came out and did the whole, you know, yo, I just want to.
I'm not afraid to be black. I'm not afraid to be white.
My man, this
I get what you're saying, man. But Logic
like,
makes fun of himself about this too. I think he's realized, like, in
like even the Joe Budden thing, that he Logic is the example. As a big fan of his, he's the exact example of the cap of facts question he asked. Do what people think of you? Should you not let that bother you? Because
it depends on who it is.
He let Joe Budden push him into the Joe Budden.
It depends who it is, yo. Because, like, maybe Joe Budden might not be the person to do that for me. But if it was, I'm trying to think of another, like, somewhat underground legend. If Immortal Technique out of nowhere was just like, Samad Savage is the worst rapper ever. That shit would get to me. I see
what you trying.
That shit would get to me. And it's like, I've never met Immortal Technique. I mean, I've talked to him on, like, line, but I've never met him.
Yeah.
But who he is in rap is the reason that shit would hurt more than anything. And I don't think, like, I feel like Logic is entitled to feel how he feels. I think he understands it wasn't it was a bad mistake to make him feel that way. But you can't control how somebody you look up to saying something about you feels. And I get it. Joe may look at it like, yo, that's soft and that's not what hip hop is about and whatnot. But I think it's honest. I think it's human. And I think that it's been a long time since people were that honest.
I swear, yo. And it really, like it hurts me so much that Logic did that, because now when I bump his music, I just hear somebody who is now trying to get rid of, like, you crossed over, you was the pop fan.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's trying his hardest to get that off his name. And I'm just like, yo, be you. Just be. One thing
I think he is being himself now.
But it's after he messed up. How do you mess up both fan bases?
Did he mess up?
I feel like he messed up both fan bases.
That man is a multi-millionaire.
And he's still not happy because the urban community don't bump his music.
I don't think it's a matter of that, and I don't think it's the.
That came out his mouth.
All right. Yeah, you're right.
You was up
right.
#1 album,
But
24 million records sold on Def Jam.
But I don't think it's like in a. I
Joe
don't think it's like
Budden.
in a pandering like way with that like.
I just felt like that album was nothing after that.
Yeah,
like Bobby
yeah.
Tarantino 2, 3, all them shits are good.
Yeah,
it's just everybody was the tape that was like, why'd you do this, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he thought he was going to be like the great biracial hope. You know what I'm saying? For all of the kids who are biracial.
That's
I'm
smart.
Sure that
I get that.
I'm sure he has a lot of biracial fans who are in like the same predicament where they look more white than black and they feel like unaccepted by either side. And I feel like that shit helped a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
but I do think he's
what he
elite.
should care about.
I do think he's elite.
Yes.
That's the only tape.
He's one of the best rappers.
That's the only tape in his catalog I got a problem with. I don't have a problem with nothing. Even Vinyl Day. I ain't even got a problem with Vinyl Day.
Vinyl Days was fire, but you ain't got a problem with what's the name of it? Something of the Dangerous Mind, the one where he talked about sucking dick.
No, I like that tape. You talking about the one where he was like, if I say I want to suck a dick, that's the only thing I care about?
Yeah, I get what he was doing there. I'm just making fun of that moment.
This is the reason why I don't have no problem with the other tapes, because the other tapes is him being him. It ain't no over the top, here's the black side of my family music. It ain't no over the top.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I didn't like
that. Was the tape
But
I like
a big
Logic
fan.
I like Logic when Logic's being Logic. I don't like Logic when
I feel like Logic is being Logic on All the Young Sinatras, on Under Pressure, on
Then you say that about the urban community and you got the entire Wu-Tang. Minus the dead members. You got all of them on to do. You see, you're more important there than you think. Wu-Tang Clan is as underground as it gets.
And you got all of them.
Every member. Method Man, the fucking U-God. Niggas, we don't even listen to it. Like, you had all of them.
Yeah, every single one.
So, you are that. It's just, that self-confidence, bro. That's why I always tell people when the phrase money can't make you happy be true. Because if Logic didn't sell all those records, he would just be happy to know that he could sit in the room with M.O.P. and Mobb Deep, and they'd be like, yo, Logic, fire. Like, he will trade all that shit in to sit next to just some old school underground hip-hop legends that think he dope. That's all he wanted from his career.
Because he's always been, and we're going to get off of this, but he's always been, like, a fan of rap. He's always been the rap fan. Like
Eminem, I got you.
Yeah, so it's like, and you could say, being black and white is his thing, but I feel like it's weird that like we don't talk about anything else that these rappers repeat over and over and over and over again. But we do that with Logic because he's talking about being black and white, and it's just because most people can't understand that.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's a great way.
But we find with such and such talking about selling drugs for 10 albums straight, or such and such talk about killing niggas for forever. It's just. I think it's very selective, and Logic got way too much hate that he didn't deserve. Especially
I'd like to hear y'all on the song.
I would love to rap with Logic. I would love to work with or sign with Bobby Boy Records. You know what I wish y'all would have did? Let me tell you before I let you go. Dead ass. He got Black Spider-Man. I got Black Tom Holland. You know what's funny? Everybody associates those two. Let me tell you the reason why I made Black Tom Holland. People just read the title and was just like, oh, like we already got Black Spider-Man. We already got Miles Morales. And it's like, I didn't name it that because of Spider-Man. I believe you. It's because of Tom Holland and who he is as a person. Like, that dude is a really, really good person, and his come up from going from being bullied in school to becoming this amazing actor who uses all of the clout and things that he get for good, visiting cancer patients and whatnot, donating to so many different charities, starting his own nonprofit with his brothers, and just the kind of good person that he is the reason why I made Black Tom Holland, his come up story and who he is. And I try to make that. I only had like one line in the hook and one line in the verse about it, but I said they was hating on him back in high school, and I'm a paper thicker than the Bible. Come and take a gander at my boo. Guess it pays off to be the nice dude. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's okay to be a nice guy and be all of that because your day gonna come kind of story.
But let me spin it on why I looked
at it. It was also a throwaway.
let me tell you why I looked at it like that real quick. The reason why I appreciated your song was because, like you said, it was a nod to him, who's also Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all would have got together, he could have gave it to you from being the superhero part, because he's the superstar rapper. And you're the, so when I put the mask on, it's like, all right, there's Black Spider-Man. But when it's off, I'm the black.
Yeah, Tom Holland. Yeah, I guess so.
Because you're rapping from the.
I'm saying I
like
guess so, but truth be told, I would be like, bro, let's just make a different song.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like y'all. All right, here's a better way to put it.
Yeah,
y'all are creatively similar than you know. And that's how
I agree with that. I think we're both extreme students of the game. And I feel like me and Logic, we'd probably have to spend like 24 hours of just talking before we get to actually making a song, because I feel like there's just so much that we could talk about and whatnot. You know, of course, I respect his life and him having a wife and kid. I know he wouldn't be able to spend that much time. But I feel like the conversation would be a lot more beneficial than the actual song.
And then, hopefully, because that's one feature from yours, I would let it hit.
Yeah. I'm coming back to do, bro. You know how J. Cole went platinum with no features?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have different projects with like hella features, because there's just so many
do
people
it, man. You
that
can do
came
it.
And Logic didn't come and go, like he's still here. But there's so many different artists that came and went that I really wanted to work with that just never happened. Like I still want to do a song with Waka Flocka.
Word, yo.
Like,
yo, man, you can do it, man. You can definitely do it, man.
I want to work with Pharoah Munch. I want to work with.
I'm
trying to think of like people that's just like underrated. That like, I would low key do a song with Creation, because that Gucci Fendi Prada shit was like, that song was crazy. Like, there's so many people that's just like, oh, I love this one song that you did that I'm like, I got respect for and want to work with.
I give you that, but I do want to thank you for coming through here.
Of course.
I mean, I appreciate you. Let me get you your hand claps. That's Samaya Savage. I want to thank you for coming through here, blessing. I don't care what you think podcast, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for giving me one of the best fun. I mean, I know it's a podcast, not an interview, but still, like, the little things that you did know about me and the things that you were willing to learn about me, it was just a really dope experience, especially in comparison to people who just hit you with the same damn questions every time.
Yeah, I ain't going to do that to you, because my whole thing is the uniqueness of an interview or anything, or however you want to call it, the uniqueness of it is I don't do it for clickbait. And that's why you don't get the same question. Like, as an example, perfect example, before we bounce. I asked Ice from the Joe Budden podcast. And he said, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, you know the New Jersey. Stand up.
Yeah.
Right. I know for a fact before he sit down, he think that question is coming about Rory and Maul.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't.
Yep.
And it's not.
Love that.
See what I'm saying?
That.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, he might not see this, so he don't know that.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, because it's like, I'm not doing, I can do that, get it quick.
Yeah.
100,000 views, because everybody, that ain't what I'm there for.
Yeah. Listen to what he said on this podcast.
I asked to speak to you about you. And that's it. And I know who can give me, like, I knew you was going to go deep into music. I watched you do somebody else's podcast, and you shout out all them people from Jersey.
Yeah.
That's how I found a lot of them. You posted it on your page, and I was only there for you. And I was scrolling like, oh, he naming a lot of New Jersey people, because I only want to do it with New Jersey.
That's amazing. That was the goal. That was the goal.
I only want to do it with New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, man, and thank you.
Thank you.
The better the cheddar, the better the watch. You fit the description. Watch your head in the drop. Ahead of my time. I'm never gonna stop. I'm what they've been missing.